All right, Nick, I think we're live on YouTube for our next episode of Ask Us Anything. So while
Hello,
we're
hello. It's
waiting,
good to be live. Good to be live.
do you feel good about that? While we're waiting, oh boy, I've got to turn off there. I had the live thing broadcasting on my browser while I was trying to
Oh,
talk
so
to
you're
you.
hearing yourself. Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
distracting.
it's no fun. Um, while we're waiting for people to join, let's talk about an email we got for this segment. So someone wrote in and asked about how to get Hyatt points, and
hmm
she did
Which seems like a
mention
reasonable question. Seems like a
right,
reasonable question. How do you get Hyatt points, right?
right,
I can tell you how
but
to
she
get a lot
did
of Hyatt points,
right off
but
the bat though. She mentioned that
but
the easy ways of getting it are not available to her. That is Chase. So Chase credit cards, you can get Hyatt points either by signing up for the Chase Hyatt credit card or by signing up for any of the Ultimate Rewards credit cards. She has been apparently banned from Chase altogether. So what other ways are there to get Hyatt points?
not many. I mean, you can pay for your stays, right? So, I mean, if you pay cash rates for stays, you can earn points. And right now, they get the bonus journeys promo going. So, if you registered by January 15th, you get triple points. So, 3 times base points, 15 points per dollar plus whatever elite bonuses if you happen to have any status with them. So,
Right.
15 points per dollar base, or then 4x base points, so 20 points per dollar at some places. So, that would be, I mean, the obvious answer right off the bat, but there's probably other ways. What do you think? Do you have another idea in mind?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because our tagline is earn miles without flying, there's sort of like it goes without saying we're also talking about earn hotel points without staying.
Staying,
And so
right.
so that
Or
yes,
at least without paying.
staying at Hyatt's right. Staying at Hyatt's is the most obvious and straightforward way to get Hyatt points if you can't get a Chase card. Um, I mean, other options, right, are to buy the points when they're on sale. So, maybe she could load up on cash back offers, sign up for those bank bonuses, sign up for credit cards that give cash back, those kind of things. And then just use that cash,
That's
set it aside to get
yeah.
Hyatt points.
That's what I was
Um,
going to say. If you really value Hyatt points, if you can get a lot of value out of them, that's the way to do it. Because in the 2 minutes before we started here, Stephen Pepper tells me that sometimes Hyatt points go on sale for about 1.85 cents each, which sounds about right according to my recollection. And so if you take a decent bank account bonus, we had written a bunch about the HSBC bonus. That's the version we wrote about is over now, but there's still a $600 bonus out there available for that account if you sign up online yourself. And so you take a bonus like that, it's a $600 checking account bonus. And if you were to buy points at 1.85 cents each, that's like 32,000 points from a checking account. Without even a credit card, you get yourself 30,000 points. And I wrote posts last year about how much I earned from checking account bonuses and bank account bonuses, various bank account bonuses. And by the end of the year, in 1 year, between my wife and I, we'd made $4,600 and change dollars off of bank account bonuses, which I did the math, and it comes out to 252,000 Hyatt points if I were to buy them at 1.85 cents each. So if you were just to set that cash aside, then you'd have 250,000 Hyatt points potentially. Now, obviously,
right,
it might be hard to part with that much cash. I'd have a hard time buying points at that rate, but
right,
that's a
right.
possibility.
All right. Now let's
A
get
lot of
into more
points.
creative alchemy here.
Okay.
How
All right.
could you create Hyatt points some other way, just for fun?
You could transfer
Right?
them. You could transfer them from some other program, right? I mean, there's airlines that you could transfer to Hyatt, right?
Is there? Maybe there is.
I think
I don't
I
know.
think so.
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but
They're
maybe.
always a poor rate, but I'm pretty sure you can transfer something to Hyatt points. I can't even think of like Asia Miles or something like that to Hyatt points. Like usually they're horrible rates, but I remember there
Yeah.
was one that ran a promo a couple of years ago that was like somewhat reasonable for a couple of hotel. I don't know. You can
Right.
sometimes
Right.
do that.
All right. Here's my thought. Here's my
Okay,
thought
go
of
ahead.
what she could do is she has to find someone out there in the world that has Chase cards, so can get Ultimate Rewards or Hyatt points, but who really wants something like Hilton points. And so what so what she
That
would
person
do
exists, I'm sure.
so Hyatt, lets you transfer points for free from one member to another. So, and Hilton sort of does too, although you got to add them to your group or whatever. So that's why I brought up Hilton. I also brought up Hilton because there's sort of a convenient multiplier to turn Hilton points into Hyatt. That is like, I would think it's roughly equivalent to have for 3 Hilton points to be 1 Hyatt point. And so what you could do is say, I'm going to trade you, I'm going to earn lots of Hilton points. And when you need them, I'll transfer to you and you transfer Hyatt points to me, something along those lines.
That might be a decent arrangement you could make with somebody. Yeah. I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, there's not like a magical hidden play here that like somebody's creating millions of Hyatt points without Chase. So the other thing that I would tell you is to think about another program. I mean, and I don't say that in the, I don't say it to be like, oh, you can't do Hyatt and, rub your nose in it, so to speak, except like there are things you can do. The things that we talked about are things you can do, but none of them are particularly attractive or good. And you'd probably be better served by just focusing on Marriott or Hilton or a program where you can get some of the cards, because, you're going to be really like fighting an uphill battle to get a hold of Hyatt points, and then to squeeze enough value to make it worth it. I would just probably go with a different program.
Right. And also, I mean, even if your heart's set on Hyatt hotels, then focus on ways of getting cheaper stays with, best rate guarantees and other methods. Focus on ways of getting better benefits during your stay by doing that Hyatt Privé stuff that Nick has written about. There's a lot of different things that you could do from a cash point of view, and then you'll be earning points during those stays, and then you'll be able to book those outrageous awards when they come up.
That's a great point. And, you look at in fact, just a little like 20 minutes ago, we posted a new bonus on the Capital One Spark cards. And so the Spark Cash is a bonus of up to $2,000. If you got to spend 50,000. So it's not a small amount, but $2,000 on the cash, or 200,000 Capital One miles, which you could use to pay yourself back for Hyatt stays. So, that's another way to focus on bonuses like that. They're very much like what Greg is saying with cash back. You can focus on that. Like you said, focus on ways to get those benefits that you want without the status, because there are ways to do that, and also along the same lines, when you talk about trading Hilton points for Hyatt points, see if you have a friend who has Hyatt Elite status who can book you guest of honor stays, and somehow you can work out what those points are worth. So you might be able to get that figured out with a friend too.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
So let's go on. We got some questions already. Grant pops in with question number 1, says, hey, Greg and Nick, with the addition of new Amex dining wireless spending offers, which are you most excited about? And do you think Chase or Citi will race to compete with these offers? What do you think? What are you excited about out of the new offers, Greg? And what do you expect from Chase or Citi?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're all great. I like the wireless ones better personally, just because it's so easy for me. So each month, I got so used to this last year with the platinum cards, but each month when AT&T sends a email saying your bill is ready, I just jump online and I have all the cards stored in my AT&T account. And so, I have 4 cards that have $15 credit. So I just did this morning, actually. Nice. I just go through it. Lets me split pay with 2 cards at a time. So I go through, pick 2 of them, pay 15 on each, done. Pick 2 more, 15 on each, done. And I'm done for the whole month. Restaurants a little harder because I haven't figured out yet how to make it work without having to remember when I'm gonna order from a restaurant or go to a restaurant. Do I have the right card in my wallet? Have I already spent on it? All that kind of stuff that I don't like having to keep track of that. How about you? Where are you with those things?
I'm split. Because I think the Aspire card, it's really exciting to get another $220 in value on that card. I feel like the card is already such a no-brainer and worth more than the cost of admission, and to get another $220 back on money that I'm going to spend anyway just seems ridiculous to me. I mean, so I felt giddy when I saw that. I was like, oh, that's going to be so easy to use, cash in the pocket, so to speak. So I liked that. But then the Marriott Bonvoy Business is coming with more in wireless credits than the cost of the annual fee. Like, and it comes
Right.
with a free weekend night,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that also made me feel a little giddy. I was like, wow, I'm going to get $165 back. If I don't do anything else this year with that card, I'm going to get $165 back just from the wireless credit. So I'm going to come out $40 ahead of the annual fee, and they're going to give me a free night. Like, hey, of course I'm going to keep that card. So,
Right,
so I
right.
thought both of those were quite, exciting developments. I don't know as though there's one that I would pick as the most exciting. I guess the one that's most exciting is the one you have in your wallet. It's just vary person to person.
Another thing it's exciting if you happen to be in the right situation, and kind of a bummer if you're not, which is the bonus you're getting is based on what your card was on January 1st. So I won in one case where I had a Delta Reserve card, so it has $20 restaurant credit. But I had since downgraded it to a platinum card, which I think should have had 15. But even though it's a platinum card, it had the $20 offer on there. Now, other people have gone the other way. And the worst I think is or the worst I can think of is the Hilton no fee card, has like a $5 restaurant credit. If they upgraded to the Aspire after January 1st, they're still just going to get the $5 credit. I guess worse would be like upgrading from like Delta Blue or something like that has no credits at all.
Nothing,
to one with a fee. That would be even worse. But so it just goes to different ways depending on what you have and so on.
What do you expect from Chase or Citi? I mean, do you expect them to respond, or are we going to see anything out of Chase or Citi? I mean, Chase was handing out offers kind of like candy for a while to everybody except for me. So they were giving out money for a while. And then I don't know if that's really continued quite as strongly as it was. Citi is usually pretty good about retention offers. Do you see them doing something proactive like this?
Yeah, I mean, Citi, I would guess they're going to keep just spitting out those 5X offers, those targeted 5X offers that they've been sending people, and do their normal retention offers, which are fine, which are good, actually. Chase, I don't know. I mean, Chase has been really hard to predict this for the last 2 years. I mean, coming out with 3X everywhere on the Freedom cards, like just was, and for restaurants, was a total surprise out of blue, and they've continued to surprise us over and over and over. So I'm not even going to try.
I have no idea whether to expect anything there. I'd like to see. I like the thought of competition here, but I don't know as though I feel confident enough, like you said, in predicting anything. I think everybody's going to do something. I kind of imagine Capital One's going to do something to throw their hat in the ring here. I mean, I feel like they've been lagging behind, and they were trying to compete. Like they had come around and they were like, okay, yeah, we are going to compete in this space. And then they're kind of like falling behind here. So it's time for them to add something. I think I might expect them to do something sooner, just because Chase has already given out some money. Citi gives out plenty of retention offers. Capital One doesn't really do very much. So if you're listening, Capital One, now's your chance.
So, I mean, if I'm remembering so far what they've done in response to the pandemic, it's been pretty right? I mean, it's been things like okay, you could redeem your travel points for other stuff. Great.
Yeah, you should already be able to.
Right. Okay, there was a time where you got 5X or something or other, I think.
Yeah, an Uber for a little bit. That ended already.
Like that's not going to be much, No.
No,
so
not going to move the needle.
Right. I mean, I think what Chase did, I mean, it's too bad that ran out, but with Instacart, that was a really smart thing, offering both credits and 10X points, I think it was, because that's like something people need. People who are still worried about getting out and about could get the groceries or whatever they need delivered, and then you're really seeing the value of your credit card. Love to see Capital One do something like that. I don't have high hopes of it.
No, I mean, I don't have high hopes, but I'm hopeful to see something.
Sure.
I mean, it seems like
especially since you have Capital One cards.
Well, of course, somewhat selfish there, but I felt like we were getting emails pretty regularly for a while from Capital One with, oh, we're going to do this, and oh, we're doing that.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
The pandemic hit, and it was like radio silence from Capital One for the most part for a while. Right. So they just didn't do very much apart from, like you said, making it a little bit easier to redeem your points, but not, nothing particularly exciting there. So I'd love to see something. out of them. And like you said, I think the exciting thing has been seeing competition in action. I mean, there's always been some competition in this space, of course, but I really feel like it has upped in this last year. Issuers have just keep trying to outdo each other, I guess, and hang on to their customers. So there's been lots of good stuff for those of us paying attention.
Right. And I mean, three companies I can think of like really have stood out. Amex, from the credit card point of view, from the beginning, just totally stood out with these huge credits. Before it was mostly around platinum cards. Now it's both personal platinum cards and all these co-branded cards. And then of course Hyatt, and mostly Hyatt, but also Marriott have stood out with their with things they've done to retain elite status or make it easier to get elite status. Others, I mean, like, have had occasional like interesting promos, but I wouldn't say they really stood out that I can think of.
Yeah. It's not so fair for the airlines because it's kind of tough. I mean, you could offer
I totally get
billion
that.
miles right now, and it was not going to really probably make a difference for a lot of people. So, yeah, I mean, they're not much for them to do. But from hotel standpoint, yeah, definitely Hyatt and Marriott are the ones that are shining there. So, yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what else comes our way. All right, we took a long time in that one, so let me move forward to another question here. So, Michael says, "Hi guys, I'm looking at the Hyatt or Marriott cards and then upgrade to the Ritz." So Hyatt or Marriott cards and then upgrade to the Ritz. In November, I got the Chase Sapphire Preferred, but only after reconsideration. Credit scores in the 800s and 6 cards, around $30,000 in credit. How do I know if I'm at my limit with Chase? And if I am, would lowering my credit limit help with approvals?
Okay, so first, I'm going to interpret that first part, looking at the Hyatt or Marriott cards and the upgrade to Ritz as either Hyatt or get a Marriott card and then upgrade it to Ritz. Like those are the two, because you can't upgrade Hyatt to Ritz. And I'm assuming
I was confused as I was reading. You're absolutely right. Yep.
Right. And it's so common once you have a number of Chase cards to be in the situation where you have to call recon to get approved. And that's going to keep happening. It's possible if you lower your credit limits that you might get auto approved, but more likely you won't. And by having the credit there to trade with during a recon call, I think you're better off. So I would personally, I think leave things alone. When you sign up for a card, you call recon. And say, I'm not looking for new credit. I just, want to get this card. So can you move, 10,000 limit from my CSP or whatever else you have. That's how I would play it.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I think you nailed it there. There's some people that seem to think lowering your credit limits gives you a better chance. But the thing is, you give up a tool that you had to negotiate with, because if you don't get automatically approved, then you also have given away some of the credit that you could have used to negotiate this new card opening. So
exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to give up your tools there, probably. So yeah, you'll know that you're at your limit if you still just can't get approved. So they're probably not going to extend more. So you're just going to lead with the fact that, hey, I'm not, like Greg said, I'm not looking for more credit. I just like to open this. All right. So quick interruption from Steven going back on dining a minute ago. He's saying that and I'm trying to think of how this fit in with the previous conversation, but saying that Fluz codes as dining. So buying restaurant gift cards should work for
so
the.
That was my comment. That was my comment about,
that's right.
Like, I don't know how to just use up all of the restaurant credits.
But that's the way to do it through Fluz.
That's really nice. Yeah. Now, boy. So I wonder, if there's anything that's not really a restaurant, but codes as a restaurant through there, because most of the restaurants like on there are not ones that I tend to eat at. So
I think there's probably a pattern you can look for to figure that out. So you might be able to take a look through and see what you can figure out. But right. So to look through the restaurant gift cards, and that's a great tip. And if you're not familiar with Fluz, then go to Frequent Miler and just type Fluz in the search box. I'm sure you'll find one of our posts about it, because great way to be able to buy gift cards from your computer. Super simple, and that's great that some of them code as dining. But of course, obviously, you got to keep in mind that the Amex offer terms say that it's not valid on gift cards. So there's some risk of clawback if you buy a bunch of gift cards. The flip side, $20 a pop. I don't know. I'm not that.
It's not that likely, and
be an issue. Yeah. Yep. All right. So, and he says restaurant cards code is dining, but not all cards sold by Fluz. Yeah, to be
Sure.
very,
Yes. Right.
very clear. The
Right.
restaurant.
It's pretty neat that Fluz has cards that code as grocery, cards that code as dining, and so on. So that's unusual and a really nice feature.
Yep. Yep. All right. Very good. So there you go. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. So going to the next question here. Aaron says, apologies if this was asked already, been out of the loop lately. Just wondering about the Hyatt promo for 10 elite night credits. If I applied for the card by December 31st, should I expect to see a split of 5 elite night credits initially, and then the remaining 5 get credited up to a month later? Had a lot of questions on this, Greg. What should he expect?
So I'm wondering if this was an older question that Carrie dug up. And I'm saying that because by now he should see what is.
We got this question from somebody yesterday.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All
in
right.
the comments on the blog. So not this particular, I don't mean Aaron, but I mean, same question from somebody else yesterday. I saw it pop in on one of the threads, and I hadn't had a chance to look it up yet to see if everybody is reporting that. I know that initially everybody was getting 5, and then they were expecting to get the other 5 at some point. And I know a lot of people did get that other 5. So if you haven't gotten the other 5, who would you follow up with, Greg? So you applied December 31st, last day. You should get 10 elite night credits. You're only seeing 5 in your account. And that was the most recent question. Do I follow up with Chase? Do I follow up with Hyatt? Where would you start on that?
I would do Hyatt for that. So the initial 5 I think is Chase, but I think that the matching 5 is Hyatt. So that's just my impression. So I would start there. I would go to Hyatt Concierge and see if they could help. Now,
yeah, good.
He might be even in a better situation. A few people who signed up on the last days like that got 15 nights. And I believe that happened because they were supposed to get a bonus 5 nights in 2020 and a bonus 5 nights in 2021, so that it would be a total of 10 elite nights in both times. And so I think what happened is that some people who signed up on the 31st, they got the bonus 5 twice in 2021, and so they ended up with 15. So hopefully that'll happen for anyone still waiting, but I don't know if it will.
Yeah, and if the Hyatt Concierge is not able to help you with that for one reason or another, I think my next step would be to send a secure message to Chase and say, hey, can you confirm the offer that I signed up under? And
that's a good idea.
And let them write back and say, yeah, it was this many points and this many elite nights, and then say, yeah, okay, well, that's what my screenshots show, but I only have this many elite nights, and then go from there and see what happens. But I would think Greg's probably right. Starting with Hyatt makes sense. Okay, so let's see. Next up, Skylar asks, sold a few items on eBay over the past few years, like $0 to $100 average revenue per year. Is that enough to get approved for a business card with Chase, Amex, Citi? Any cards that are easier to get? It's much harder to get. Is it much harder? I think is he's asking. Is it much harder to get a business card during the pandemic?
Okay, so I mean, it is harder to get Chase business cards. They've definitely made things tougher in general. I don't know to what extent that's the pandemic versus just the direction they're going, but I mean, yes, it's enough. It's enough theoretically for any of them because they are they are willing to get new businesses that don't have much revenue on there. They do like to see years of in business though, to make sure you're not just like one that just started and so on. So I would look back to how many years you've been doing that. And when it asks you how many years have you been in business, go all the way back to the first time you sold anything and say that's when you started, which it technically is. And that should help. My son has opened several business cards with absolutely no revenue at all. I mean, it's had projected revenue, but you should be right.
Yep. Agreed. My wife got approved for the Chase Inc. cash with a very low amount of revenue like that. So, so even with Chase, you can get, and that was recent. Even with Chase, you can get in the door with that. So, yeah, I would think it's possible. I think your easiest out of those, I don't know, what would you say, Greg? I think the easiest tends to be Amex on business cards, but maybe Citi is as easy.
Yeah, Amex is usually the easiest, but Citi can be easy too. If you're going with Chase, definitely go with one of the no fee business cards and those are easier to get than the
Ink Business
premium
Preferred,
one.
yeah.
Mhm.
And Barclays and Bank of America can be quite difficult with business cards these days. US Bank also. So I probably wouldn't start with any of those. I'd start with what you have there: Amex, Citi, maybe Chase if you want to take a swing at it. I mean, the first time I applied for a Chase business card, I got declined. 6 or 8 months later, I applied again, got approved for the same card. So
Nice.
yeah, it might be worth taking a swing at it and seeing if you can get through or not. All right, so then that brings us to David. David, tips for Barclays reconsideration line for the 100K JetBlue business card. I have the Ink Preferred, the Ink Cash. Should I state I have these cards? If he's calling reconsideration with Barclays, is bringing up his business cards with other banks going to help, or how would you approach that call, Greg?
No, I don't think that would help. I think that the main thing that they're looking for is your credit worthiness. And so they're going to be looking at things like your credit report, years in business, that kind of thing. But also, if you've applied for tons of cards in the recent, in the last few years, they're pretty, they don't like to see that. So I don't think they have a hard and fast rule the way Chase does. But if you have a lot of new cards on your account or lots of new inquiries, both of those, it's going to be hard to get past the recon line. And I don't know any secret way to get past with them.
Me either. Barclays tends to be a little bit more conservative, but I also have found their reconsideration reps to be very professional and polite in general. So I think they're going to be willing to hear you out and give you a fair shake, so to speak. But yeah, I agree. I don't think your other cards are going to make much of a difference to them. I think it's more so just going to be stating that you've got the means to do it, and you're interested in seeing. Like when I approach that kind of call, normally what I'm saying is something like, "Hey, I applied for this card. I didn't get approved. I wanted to see if there's any way you'd be able to reconsider that decision. If there's any additional information I can provide that would help you reconsider that or help lead to a better outcome or different outcome, blah, blah, something along those lines, and see what they ask you. I mean, they're going to tell you what they want to know and want to hear, and either you're going to be able to convince that person or not. So best of luck with that. I think.
Good answer.
Okay. So Rome says, are you guys doing some checking account, or you guys do some checking account bonuses, right? Do you have any particular strategies with regard to national versus regional banks, or check sensitive first, or just go for the highest bonuses as they appear? Do you do any of these checking bonuses, Greg? Because I know I do. I've talked about it a bunch, but I haven't really heard you talk about it. So do you ever do the bank account bonuses?
It's very rare for me, and there's no good reason other than I feel like my finances are so darn complicated as they are that like adding more bank accounts just makes it worse. But you could say the same thing about credit cards, but I have a system in place for keeping track of them. And so it doesn't feel that difficult. But with bank accounts, it's usually you're dealing with a new company each time, unlike credit cards where it's like another Amex card or another Citi card, right? It's a little different.
Oh yeah,
So,
you're feeling new logins, new
exactly
numbers, trying to move money around and everything. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some headache there. There's no doubt. So.
Yeah, this Brex bonus is the closest I've done recently because it's sort of more like a bank bonus to me than a credit card bonus.
Yeah, and that's an amazing bank bonus. I mean, that's the best bank bonus equivalent I've ever seen, I think, right? I mean,
and it's so easy too.
Yeah. I mean, that's a terrific bonus. So, to answer your question, my strategy is just to go after good bonuses. So I've been doing this just these last couple of years, like 10-ish a year, probably per person in my household, or maybe 5-ish. I don't know. I tell you the truth. I just made that number up, and I'm not exactly sure how many it was. If you go and see my posts from last year, you'll see how much I earned in which account, so you can count it up for yourself. So I did a recap. I think it was something like oh boy, if you type in 2020 in the search box and bank account bonus or something like that, you should get my year-ending tally from 2020. And then I also wrote my bank account bonus plans for 2021. And at this point anyway, my focus is to go after accounts with big bonuses, and I'll do 1 or 2 at a time and space them out by a couple of months. So I haven't yet run into an issue with a bank being check sensitive. I know some banks will get sensitive if you're opening too many accounts in too close proximity. I say I haven't. in the past, I have run into an account here or there that I wasn't able to open. That was probably because of check systems inquiries. But now that I'm doing 2 or 3 every couple of months, it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. I tend to focus on ones that are at least $300, unless it's super, super simple. I might do one that's a little bit less than that. And there's been plenty to keep me busy there. Now, eventually I'll run out of that and I'll have to, branch out into some other types of bonuses. But you can always check Doctor Credit. You've always got a good write-up on the different bonuses and which banks are check systems sensitive. But like I said, opening like 10 or 12 or whatever it was last year didn't seem to make a difference with any of the accounts that I opened. And I didn't even pay attention to which ones were check sensitive, to be honest with you. So worked out fine. And just opened another one this week. So opened another one for me and another one for my wife this week. So I keep on that train, just as you'll read about in the 2021 plans post. So that's the best I can give you there, I think. So Greg, then, not this Greg, but the other Greg Coleman asks, so if you sign up for one of the Amex Hilton cards now, does that mean you won't get any of the new credits, Greg?
That's exactly what it means. Yeah. No luck. It's just like the platinum offers that not the PayPal one, but the other good offers like that Home Depot one and the Best Buy one. Those were both contingent on having the card open November 1st. These new offers are contingent on having them open January 1st. I actually have a little bit of an anecdote about that. If you'll indulge me a second.
Oh,
so,
all right.
So for a Monday, for February 1st, I had scheduled my Greg's picks, the credit card bonuses that I think are really worth sort of, highlighting. I'd updated it for February, and as I've done every single month when I've worked on it, I've tried to decide whether to move the Aspire card from the wait until better section to like do it now. And I still kind of lean towards, probably something better. Like we might see something better. So I left it where it was. And then Monday morning, so I had it scheduled for 6:45. Monday morning around like 6:15, I get up and I see that these offers came out, and I'm like, oh my God, $20 a month. That's enough to, say, get the Hilton Aspire card now. So I was about to rush and redo that post until I remembered a lesson I had taught myself about a month ago, which is never, ever do anything before having coffee. And I've learned that lesson a few times. And so I was like, all right, yeah, I'm just going to let it go out like this, and I can republish it if I need to. So I went and had my coffee, and then I took my time reading the, terms and everything. I'm like, oh, January 1st. Yeah. Okay. Getting the Aspire card now. I mean, it's not that it's a bad pick. It's just, it's not better because of those offers.
Didn't get enhanced. No.
Yeah.
December was clearly the time to get it, both for the triple dip on credits.
Yeah.
I mean, hello,
Yeah.
triple dip on airline fee credits, and because then you would have been eligible for this if you'd gotten it in December. So yeah, December was the time to pick up the Aspire, but it's the same kind of thing as before, Greg Coleman, that is, in that it seems that Amex is trying to incentivize people to keep the cards, and they figure if you just signed up for the card, you signed up because you were happy to take the welcome offer. I mean, they were offering a welcome offer and you were like, okay, that's enough to get me to sign up. So they don't really need to throw more money at you right now. If they just threw some at you and you said, okay, that's good enough for me to take the card. That's essentially, I think anyway, they're thinking. I don't sit on the Amex board, so I don't know for sure that that's what they're thinking, but it seems more or less to be their train of thought. So just for people who had the card before, that PayPal credit that Greg mentioned, one thing that makes that pretty good is that is for new card holders too, I think. And that's on the Amex Platinum card, not one of the new ones that's out this week.
Right.
Okay, let's see. Next up, Timeless Victory asks, any way to convert non-transferable membership rewards points, aka fake membership rewards points, to real membership rewards points? So this came up in Frequent Miler Insiders recently from somebody also who said that they had these fake points. And when they say fake points, there were some older Amex membership rewards cards that earned membership rewards points that can't be transferred to airlines and hotel partners, etc. They could only be redeemed for statement credits at some poor value or something. So is there any way to convert those, to take those points and turn them into transferable membership rewards points, Craig?
Well, I've never personally had those impaired MR points, but I'm pretty sure that if you just get another Amex membership rewards card, that all your points will pool, and then you'll get all the capabilities. But am I wrong?
Well, I mean, I don't know from personal experience, but I know that the answer in frequent miler insiders from other card holders was that no, there's no way to do it.
Really?
So that they're just stuck.
So they don't pool automatically.
Apparently not. So that's what other insiders said, which again, news to me. I didn't know. And I do know somebody with one of those membership rewards cards that earns these membership rewards points that aren't really membership rewards points. Because, of course, today, any membership rewards point card that you get has transferable points. They all so there's no difference between membership rewards points. And like Greg said, they all pool together. However many cards you have, they put them all in one pile for you by social security number. So you don't have that issue anymore. But if you do have one of those really old cards, I think I have a friend with an Amex Blue Sky card. That's what it's called. And I had to look that up because I had never heard of the Blue Sky card. And it earns these, poor value membership rewards points. But I don't think, to my knowledge,
you sure those are membership rewards? Because I do remember there was some other kind of card like that had some other kind of points that weren't called membership rewards. And those, I'm sure, you can't convert them. But anyway. I believe the collective wisdom of the
group.
It's surprising, but too bad. That's disappointing.
All right. Kirk asks us, would Amex claw back points for purchasing gift of college gift cards like they do for other gift cards? If you buy gift of college cards, are they going to claw that back, Greg?
I mean, it's certainly possible, especially, so if you're buying them $500 at a time, like you would, it's going to look like the same as Visa gift cards. So it's certainly possible. I don't know.
I wish I had a clear recollection. If you go to Frequent Miler and you search the title, if you just search Bundle of Joy, I wrote a post. It was something like bundle of points with our bundle of joy. And it was how I was earning about 200,000 points in the first month of my son's life when he was born last September. And one of the things I had done was I bought gift to college gift cards. And right now, I can't recall. I know I had intentions to put some on an Amex card, on the Amex Bonvoy card, because at the time there was like 10x gas stations. Again, if you look at the post, you'll read all about it. I can't recall whether or not we actually did put any on the Amex card or whether we did it all on the Chase cards. So if you go back to that post, though, I'm sure that I must have mentioned if I did any on Amex cards, I'm sure that it was in that post. So, and of course, in my case, it's because in the Northeast and parts of the Northeast anyway, and also I think in parts of Florida, there's a gas station chain called Cumberland Farms that sells those gift to college gift cards. So if you got a card with a gas station bonus, there was a temporary bonus back at the time, then you could pick up a bunch of points buying gift to college gift cards. I would think that if you're buying one or two, you'll probably be fine. If you're buying 10 or 20,000, then, you may not be fine. So that's a risk.
And the truth is we don't know what triggers Amex to care enough to claw back points. They don't always do it with regular gift cards. So but I guess I'd be very surprised if they would differentiate whatever rule they go by. I'd be very surprised if they differentiate gift of college gift cards from Visa gift cards.
Agreed. Yep. All right. So kind of sort of maybe not the best idea, I guess. Certainly not in huge quantity. Because I think the thing is there that you risk clawback. Like you have to ask that question. You have to wonder whether they're going to get clawed back or not. And so then the problem is you're going to pay activation fees on a bunch of gift to college gift cards and maybe get nothing to show for it at all. I'd much rather have something that I know is very unlikely to get clawed back, which would be points from other issuers that offer gas station bonuses. So that's why I think I would stay away from it. Grant, and that's assuming you're buying them at a gas station. Grant, assuming you get 110K Brex points from that Brex cash offer that we're talking about, what are you going to do with the points? So, Greg, I know you've got 20K at least already. You wrote a post about how you're in the first 20K. Are you intending to get the full 110K? And if you do, what are you going to do with the points?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've already spent the amount required to get the full 110K, but I'm just waiting for the bonus to post. And it's unclear to me how they decide when or if, and some things are wonky. Like, I spent $1,000 right out of the gate on the card, and I didn't see any points on that for a long time on that 1,000. Actually, I still haven't seen that points on that 1,000. Then I spent 1,600, and those points showed up right away. And then I spent 400 more to close out the 3,000. Those points showed up right away. So I'm sitting here with 2,000 points and the 20,000 bonus points that I've gotten so far. I actually messaged them. They have like an online support thing. They said, "Oh, we could see that the full 3,000 cleared, so you'll get the points in about 5 days or something." I didn't ask about the sign-up bonus because I kind of wanted to just see what happens naturally with that. But I was worried that they somehow hadn't recorded my first 1,000. Anyway, I'm sure that's going to work itself out, no problem. What am I going to do with the points? I guess I just see it as just yet another transferable currency to pull from. I'll be more likely to the way I think about things is when I realize, let's say I need life miles. I generally pull from whatever account that transferable point that I sort of value the least and or can replenish the most easily. And I think in this case, I would pull from this just because I value it the least, because I don't think it has any unique partners that make it better than any of the other transferable currencies I have. So I would probably, transfer these over first and then supplement with Citi or one of the other ones.
Smart. Makes sense. So there you go. I don't know as though I'll get this bonus because I don't have an LLC yet, but working on that. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have some news coming on that because I think that it's definitely a very intriguing bonus, and I'll be curious to see if I can pull things together in order to pick it up while it's still available. So fingers crossed on that. Eddie asks next, is making Hyatt award reservations without enough points a globalist benefit?
Yes.
They've let me do that. They've let me do it, but I get regular angry emails telling me I was a bad boy and better get those points in or else.
Yes, it's absolutely it's a defined benefit. So I'm surprised you get angry emails. I mean, I can understand. I think there is a point when it gets closer to the stay, they look to see that you have the points and will pull from it. So I can imagine if you go past that point, that maybe the emails would sound angry.
Say, Eddie,
I don't know.
Eddie, get those points in here, Eddie. Yeah, I, to be honest, that's news to me. I didn't realize that you could do that. I knew you could do it with Marriott, but I didn't realize you could do it with Hyatt.
Only if you're globalist. It's a unique perk of their top tier. I had forgotten all about it till I actually, I was going back and forth with my Hyatt concierge about a reservation I was trying to make, and I said something about, once I get enough points, I'll book this, and she just wrote back saying, well, I could just book it for you right now because you're a globalist. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah.
Very
yeah,
neat.
I've got to make sure that's in the Hyatt guide if it's not there.
Yeah. And then you have to make sure that you transfer the points over so you don't get those angry emails like Eddie does.
Yeah, but just like every other reservation this past year, I had to cancel that one. So it was not.
So no angry emails. You don't have to worry about it.
No.
Good. Eddie's booking must be far out somewhere. Maybe it's close in and you missed the deadline. But all right, Kimberly asked us next. Hi, Greg, Nick. I'm torn between applying for the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. That's the one that earns 1.5 points per dollar everywhere. I heard the 75K offer expires on February 22nd. Interesting news to me. I'm not aware of anything that's been announced, but maybe there's something out there. And so it's torn between the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited and World of Hyatt. The 6K spend friend referral offer may disappear at any time. Any advice? Can't do both due to MS. So I'm assuming that Kimberly is saying due to the fact that she does not manufacture spend, she can't do can't meet the spending requirement on both cards at once.
Could be. It's interesting because if it was just the spend requirement that was the block, I would look into could you do things like with plastic bill payment where you have to pay to use your credit card, basically? because it would be totally worth the 2.85% fee to get the, for example, the Inc. Bonus, and you could even pay yourself back from part of that bonus if you didn't want to pay any fee. You still come out ahead, well ahead. So, for me, if it's really between those two and that's it, like forever, I think I would look at how committed am I to Hyatt as a program, because if you're really interested in Hyatt and want to be elite like in the future, it's a great card to have, and so it's worth it from that point of view. But if Hyatt's not a long-term play for you, I think the Inc. offer is a better offer. So
yeah, that's interesting, because all right, so if meeting the spend on those two cards is a hurdle in the amount of time that you have to meet it, because you get am I right? You get 6 months to meet the full spend on the Hyatt card, right? And
true.
And you get 3 months then, I guess, on the Inc. Business Unlimited, I believe. So you're talking about 13,000 and change over the course of 6 months, which perhaps sounds like a lot of money, but if you're not spending that much, then is the World of Hyatt card all that valuable to you long term? Because the valuable benefits of the World of Hyatt card long term are spending $15K for the free night certificate and earning 2 elite nights for every $5K spend. But if you're not spending, a lot more than that, then those benefits might not be very important to you, because you may want to reserve that 15K spend. If that's all you're doing in 6 months, you're not able to meet that much spend in 6 months time, then you may want to reserve some of that spend for other welcome bonuses, in which case I'm not sure that the Hyatt card is a great fit for you. So
yeah. No, that's a good point. The Hyatt card is mainly good for reasonably big spenders. I mean, it's interesting at 15K annual spend because of getting the free night, and every 5K, including those 15K, will get you 2 elite nights, which again is only interesting if it's going to get you to top tier globalist status. And so it'll only get you there with lots of spend and/or lots of Hyatt stays.
Yeah. And if you're going to make a lot of Hyatt stays, and that extra 6 nights is going to, bridge the gap for you for elite status, then yeah, I mean, it might be worth it. But I think that's something worth considering. If you're not a particularly big spender, then I would definitely want to run the numbers and say, okay, is the Hyatt card really a good fit for me? Or does it just sound like it's a good fit because everybody else loves the Hyatt card? Don't get too sucked into it for fear of missing out. There are reasons to love it, but it's not necessarily going to be a fit for everybody. Whereas on the flip side, that Chase Inc. Business Unlimited at 1.5 points per dollar earn, if you've got also other Chase cards like the Sapphire Reserve or the Sapphire Preferred, I mean, that may be a good long-term fit for you, and you can always transfer those points to Hyatt. So
that's right.
Okay. So there you go. There's your long-winded answer to that. Troy asks us, if I pay with AA flight credit I receive for canceling a paid ticket, am I able to change or cancel and get the value of the flight credit back? Same question when using United electronic travel certificate from a delay. If you change or cancel, can you get the value back?
I don't have any idea.
I don't know either. No idea. I've never used one of those AA flight credits from canceling a paid ticket. And I have United travel certificates from delays, but I haven't had to change or cancel one of them yet. My recollection is that the change policy for United is that if you change it to a flight that's cheaper, you don't get any of the residual value back. So if you had $1,000 certificate and you bought a $500, or rather you bought $1,000 flight and then you change to a $500 flight, you're not going to get $500 back. You're just going to be out your $1,000 voucher still.
Right.
So that's a consideration in using those certificates. Whereas I believe with American, you will get the difference back if you change to a cheaper flight. Now, will you be able to just cancel it and get the whole value of the thing back? I'm not sure. You're going to have to ask American that, I guess. I think. I don't know the answer there.
All right. So we were helpful there.
Same page there. There you go. Sorry, can't win them all. Can't win them all. So Stephen interrupted with something from before saying other benefits of the Hyatt card, keep in mind, good point, are a 10% rebate on point stays in the summer. They've run that the last few years, where if you have the Hyatt card and you make reservations during the summertime loosely, I don't remember if the dates have matched up exactly each year, but they've given a 10% rebate to card holders. And then they've given some chase offers for 10% back on Hyatt stays, although I have also seen that World of Hyatt offer on the Sapphire Reserve at this point. But there have been a few of those types of offers for cardholders right now. If you registered for it already, I think you'd get 25% back in your award stays, 25% rebate on award stays. So some things like that for Hyatt cardholders. So there are some other benefits. He's right. Good point Steven's making. There are some other benefits to having the World of Hyatt card long-term.
Right. But it's still consistent with the, it's valuable if you're committed to Hyatt. I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to get 10% off of award stays in a chain that I'm not going to spend much time in.
There you go. Good point. All right. Michael asks us, have you heard if anyone has received their Brex account bonus? Have you heard about anybody receiving the bonus yet, Craig?
Some readers have written in saying they've gotten both the 10K and the 20K. I haven't heard anyone from my area saying the 80K is posted yet. But our contacts with 1 Mile Time have said that plenty of people have. So indirectly, I've heard of people getting it. I don't see why it would be any different here. I'm not worried at all. I'm sure they're going to post.
Yeah. I mean, these kind of things usually do. And, I think I found, I would say over the last couple of years here that people are getting more and more impatient with those types of things posting. Whenever something doesn't post, boom, people are like, oh my goodness, is it going to post? Where is it? When is it going to post? Do I need to call somebody? Who do I need to call? It's like, chill out, give it a week or 2 or 3, a month maybe before you freak out, because probably 1 Mile at a Time's been writing about this for quite a while now. They wrote about the Brex account a while back. I think they first wrote about it. So it's been around. Before there were some complexities with it. Now it's a lot easier and more streamlined. So it's not something that's new. They're not like a fly by night. Brex itself has been around the last couple of years. There have been business offers from Brex. It's been a little bit different.
So let me say that there are reasons here why people are more sort of feeling worried about it than the usual thing. One, there's no, on the Brex website, when you go to apply, there's no landing page that says anything about the 80K component of the offer. You have to trust that 1 Mile at a Time was telling the truth, which they are, but you have to trust that. The next thing is Brex, when you log into your account, it has a rewards tracker for your bonus to show which of your bonuses that you're eligible for you've met so far. And it doesn't show the 80K component. It shows the 20K, it shows the 10K. So it's to me, it's totally understandable to be nervous about the whole thing. But
well, there you go.
Chill out, wait, it'll come.
I imagine it will. So, all right. So then that brings us to Sai, who asks, what are your thoughts on airline mile subscription programs such as Club Lifemiles? Greg, what do you think about Club Lifemiles?
I think that's a really interesting option especially for people who are not in the United States or for whatever reason can't get access to credit card sign-up offers. I think we have so many ways of earning transferable points that can transfer to Lifemiles, and sometimes even with a transfer bonus, that I wouldn't look to pay for them through a subscription. But there's plenty of people, as I said, outside the United States that don't have access to those offers, or people within that can't get credit cards, where if your heart's set on, flying business class around the world or first class, actually I think that Lifemiles deal is a great deal from that point of view. You could pay a little bit at a time and within a year or so, earn enough, or have bought enough to do a significant trip. And Lifemiles will also let you pay something pay a portion with miles and the rest with cash at a not terrible rate. So yeah, for the right people, I like it. What about you? Any different answer?
I feel like Lifemiles go on sale so often that I don't really feel the need to subscribe and commit long term. I could hold off, and if I wait 10 minutes, there's probably going to be a sale that's pretty similar in price to what the subscription offers. It doesn't offer a huge savings on the subscription side usually. So, you already see opportunities to buy them for 1.3 something cents each now and then, several times a year. We've seen them as low as like 1.2 something cents each, I think, once or twice. So I don't feel the urgency to subscribe when I know that there's going to probably be another opportunity to buy them cheaply when
That's a fair point.
Want or need them. And if you have any miles, I shouldn't say any, if you have some of the miles necessary, not even all that much of the miles necessary for an award, like Greg said, you can mix the two. You can actually buy miles towards the award, and it's like 1.5 cents each to buy the additional miles you need, which again is more than the cost of the subscription, but not so much more that I would feel like I have to commit to giving them my money every month. So
good point.
That's my thoughts. All right. Knowledge asks us, how soon after getting rejected by Amex for too many new cards would you reapply? I was rejected in November, got 6 cards last year and the Alaska last week. So 7 cards in the last 12 months. How soon would you try again with Amex?
Well, I mean, Amex has a pretty fixed rule about so many you could get in 90 days. I can't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head. Do you happen to know that, Nick? It's
I thought that was Amex cards, though. He's talking about.
Isn't that?
Oh, well, I think he means all together. Well, I mean, yeah, because he couldn't have gotten 6 and the Alaska card would have nothing to do with it. So I'm thinking, but my understanding of the question here was that he or she had gotten 6 new cards last year and got declined by Amex for having opened the reason they gave him was too many cards, and then opened a 7th now with the Alaska card recently, wondering, okay, well, he got rejected in November. Should he or she apply again now, or when do they try again after a rejection? I don't think.
Yeah, I guess I was reading into it. I was thinking that maybe it wasn't really that there were too many new cards open, but that he had stumbled on that no more than 2 or 3 in 90-day thing from Amex, if it was Amex cards specifically, and it might have come across as too many new cards, something along those lines.
That's a good point. Yeah, I can't remember. It should be on our application rules page. There is a rule, like you said, however many in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or whatever. So perhaps that's what you ran into if you'd opened up other Amex cards. If it wasn't other Amex cards, if it was 6 cards with other issuers, I think the rule of thumb has often been 6 months in between, when you get declined, to wait 6 months. I think some people have gotten approved like 3 months later, but I would probably typically wait 6, because I think I've seen on applications before the question, like, and I don't know if it's from Amex or not, but I think I've seen it, have you applied for any other cards with us in the last 6 months, kind of a thing, or been declined by us for any cards in the last 6 months. I think I've seen that line on applications before. So I would probably wait it out a couple more months, I think.
Sounds good. All right. Is this the last one?
Yep. I think so. All right. So is it Amy or no? AMR so asks us, I am based outside the US and I use my US Amex abroad. I find it hard to use perks from Amex, such as Uber, travel credits, wireless, and dining. Any ideas to make use of those perks? If you're not US based, we get a question like this every so often. Just about every time one of these kind of benefits come up, we get a comment or response or question from a reader. And in fact, that happened on today's post too, saying, I'm based outside of the US. Is there any way for me to be able to use this? Do you have any ideas?
Right. I mean, the only thing I can think of, like with restaurant perks, is you could probably call a restaurant in the US and say, hey, I'd like to buy a gift card to your restaurant, and have them process it from there. You could probably get online to some US restaurant chains and do the same thing, but be very careful when you're buying gift cards from restaurants. Sometimes the website hops over to CashStar where it wouldn't work at all. Maybe if you used a VPN to make it look like you're in the US and did the Fluz gift card thing, maybe that would work. Those are all, I don't know. That's about all I could think of. Any other ideas?
No. I mean, unless you're going to order your restaurant delivery, like for your family members as a gift. I mean, I've done that before actually with credits when they were going to expire anyway. I've called somebody
idea.
up and been like, "Hey, I'd like to get you dinner tonight," and and order with one of my credits because it's a nice little thing I could do for somebody with a credit that was going to expire anyway. And it's always nice to be able to do something for folks like that doesn't really cost you much. I guess in one sense it kind of costs you if you had another opportunity to use it, but that's a possibility. I've definitely called restaurants and bought gift cards over the phone before in niche situations, not to make use of credits, but I'm sure that it can be done. And when it comes to wireless credits, I don't know. I don't have any ideas for you there. So obviously the credits are designed for US cardholders, and a lot of the offers are designed for US cardholders. So they do tend to be quite US specific with Amex versus other issuers. So that is disappointing if you're based overseas, I suppose, though. I would probably say in general that you're going to be disappointed quite a bit with Amex in that case, because a lot of their things just are not worldwide. Whereas with Chase, when they run a spending bonus or something, it's usually worldwide, right? I mean, a category bonus like dining or travel or that sort of thing. So unfortunately, that's just a limitation of Amex, it seems.
That's right.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys very much. Good having you here.
Yeah, it's great sort of seeing everybody. See you next time.
See you guys soon. Bye-bye.